أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. There is a hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It says that during Ramadan, Satan or the devil is chained up. Now, if you believe that Satan or the devil is a being that exists, a physical being just like you and me, then of course it could be true that he is chained up. But the problem is that if Satan is chained up, then why is it that during Ramadan we continue to have all the ills, all the problems, all the crimes and everything that take place during the rest of the year? There is rape, there is murder, there is robbery, there is theft. Everything that goes on is still there. So what does it mean that the devil or Satan is chained up? The thing is that within every human being there are two powers or sources, and one can be likened to the devil. It is the temptation within us. During Ramadan, during the whole year, if you turn up late at your office, and the reason is that you were watching a movie on television and it didn't finish until 12:30 and you went to bed late and you overslept. That's not the reason you give your boss. You say, the train broke down, or you find some other excuse to get around what you're, whereas you were the one who was at fault there. Now, chaining the devil means that every Muslim who is fasting should control his own temptations. It's not God who's going to come down and chain that Satan or chain that devil. It is you who's required to do it. That is the purpose of fasting. And it's not only that you see, purpose of fasting is this, that God says, these are the things, eating, drinking and so on which your life depends, which are allowed in the normal course of events. But I've told you not to do them. And you don't do them for my sake. Because God has said, don't eat from dawn to dusk, don't drink from dawn to dusk, abstain from other things. You don't do them. So how much more important is it that the things He has said don't do, that we abstain from those? You see, our physical exertions and exercises and devotions and so on, they are for our own benefit, not for God's benefit. I mean, do you think He really cares whether you fast or not? Do you think He really cares whether you say namaz or not? In the context of Eid al-Adha and Qurbani, God says, well, it's not the animal's flesh or blood that's going to get to me. We ourselves are supposed to chain our devils, chain our temptations, control them, master them. And the idea is that if you can chain them for 1 month, then you can carry it on for the rest of the year. Not that, for example, you stop taking bribes during Ramadan. and you're eagerly waiting for Eid, so that, come the day after Eid, I can go back to taking bribes before I sign someone's papers or deal with their case or deal with their file or whatever. That is not the purpose of Ramadan. As Hamid Sahib has said, this is a refresher course, this is a concentrated course. I did a legal exam in May, and 2 weeks before the exam, I was getting up at 3:30 in the morning, because I wanted to be able to concentrate without the telephone ringing, without interruptions, without someone calling me to do something or ask my advice or on something or whatever. And for 2 weeks I concentrated just on my studies. And then I went into the exam, and I did okay, and I passed and so on. And when the result came a few weeks earlier, and I opened them, I thought, I'll have a look at my examination paper to see where I might have done well or where I might have done badly. And I looked at the examination paper, and there were certain questions that were ticked, and I looked at them, and I was puzzled. I thought, what did I write in answer to those? Why? The reason is, I had that concentrated refresher course in law, I did my exam, and then I forgot about it. That's not the purpose of fasting. At the end of Ramadan, you are not supposed to forget the lessons that you have learned. These devils that have been chained during Ramadan, they are not to be let loose. There is no sort of probation in Islam that, this devil is being chained up for the whole month of Ramadan, and it should have been chained up for 6 months, but because the devil has behaved well for 30 days, he can be let loose upon the world. So these devils that are being chained are in our own hearts, in our minds, in our thoughts. And the saddest thing I find about a lot of countries where Muslims are in the majority is that during Ramadan, work grinds to a halt. People become irritable and irritated. They are short-tempered with each other. All the things which are an antithesis of Ramadan. If you're fasting, you should be concentrating even more on helping people. If you're fasting, you should be concentrating even more on doing your duty diligently and honestly. If we say that Islam doesn't separate religion from the rest of your worldly affairs, then surely this is how it must be. That you don't say, oh well, I'm fasting, so I'm too tired, and I know you've made this application that you are poor and you need some government benefit, but I can't deal with that because I was up early, I was fasting, and I went to bed late because I was saying my Quran. How is that Ramadan benefiting you? How is that Ramadan benefiting anyone? So let us, all of us, chain our devils, but chain them not just for Ramadan, but for the rest of the year as well.